Salute. Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing tonight in the 305 as the Knicks answer the call. Thrilling comeback win and closing it out late. What a comeback win, man. The Knicks were up against it in this one. Karl-Anthony Towns answered the call. 44 points. Balling out. And Jalen Brunson was dishing and swishing. Bridges has found his groove. And the Deuce is still loose. Let's talk about it. Salute chat. Salute replay squad. Welcome in to the post-game live with CT. Gritty comeback win by these New York Knicks. Josh Hart, man, bounding and astounding. Excellent team effort today. Backs were to the wall, right? Got into a 13-point hole, and the New York Knicks found a way in that third quarter. An amazing third quarter. An 18-point turnaround in Miami, and the fans were leaving the building early. The Miami fans, that is, as Hart got a nice cut late, and Brunson found him. Brunson didn't have his groove early in this one, but he was finding guys later, and then he found his own shot, right? But it was Karl-Anthony Towns in this one that just absolutely erupted, and we're going to give out his grade and the flowers and the game ball tonight. Salute to the chat. Salute. Khalid, what's up? That cat hate needs to rest, and he's way better than some people have talked about. We're going to get into it. 54 points, 26 rebounds in that photo, right? That is not a typo. Those guys came to play, man. So proud of these guys. The ball movement was flowing, man. Bridges, what can I say about him, man? He was excellent in this one. Defensive stops, getting deflections on Jimmy Butler. I think the Knicks defense clamped down really, really well. We figured it out, guys. We figured it out, the switching, and we're fighting over the screens when we needed to. We switched when we needed to as well. But we found the hot hand tonight, and that was Karl-Anthony Towns, man. No match. He was killing them, man, in the paint. He was splashing the three ball. He was doing it every which way that you want him to do, right? And credit to the teammates, Brunson, for finding him. And it was just raining threes in the 305, fam, as the Knicks go 2-2 on their season. And it's going to silence a lot of the noise, fam, a lot of the haters, a lot of the doubt, a lot of the bandwagon fans, a lot of the flip-floppers and all of that, fam. Where are they now? And early days, it was a lot of overreactions and a lot of foolishness, early. This team is very, very good. They can go toe-to-toe with anyone and blow you out the gym, fam. We just needed to find chemistry and find our rhythm and cohesion, man. The word is it's still raining right now. Cat's still shooting them. And he was wagging his tongue out. And I'm so happy for Cat because, he was defending well late despite getting into some foul trouble. I think the Knicks were just switching really well. We were cohesive and were really, really well connected. Right, let's take a look at the box score. Give out the grades and give out the game ball, fam, which is definitely going to go to Karl-Anthony Towns. 44 points, plus 15, and 6 free throws, 100% from the line, 4 of 5 from deep as well. 17 of 24, fam, 70%. Unbelievable from Cat in 38 minutes. And this is very early conception, guys, and this is just the beginning of these guys figuring it out. These guys being on the same page. But Josh LionHart, man, 14 rebounds, still gobbling them up right now. 6 assists as well. 9 assists from Jalen Brunson. I see you on that, right? There was talk that Brunson was hunting for his shot a little too much. What does he do like a leader? He comes back and he gives you 9 assists, fam, with 22 points. And he comes in. CC says salute. One game at a time, I'm enjoying the growth. Brunson floor game was much better in this one, in the fourth quarter, and kept scoring, kept OG involved as well. Amen, brother. I thought, OG played a good game. OG was, playing well defensively. I thought, putting Jimmy, in clamps tonight, he earns top billing, on that assignment, keeping Jimmy in check. Obviously, Tyler Hero was getting way too loose, and the Knicks had struggles, early in the ball game, right? But we corrected that. We came correct. We're going to talk about Tibbs' decision to rock with Jericho Sims, right? That had me kind of surprised, and I was baffled by it. After Huck Porty, gave some great minutes in the last game. But look, I got to give credit where credit's due. I thought Jericho Sims played a really solid game. He battled, in his 9 minutes. But Miles McBride continues to be a huge lion off the bench, fam. The spark that he is giving this team is amazing, right? One of the favourites for six man, in my opinion. He was 3 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from deep, right? 2 steals, 10 points, got really gritty, had the huge throwdown slam, which we're going to relive all these highlights tonight and give out the grades, fam. Great to see you fresh and Johnny in the building. Guys, give us your thoughts on this ball game. Replay squad, give us your thoughts in the comment section. Right, this was a gut check kind of win. Obviously, you don't want to go down 1-3. Then the noise, gets louder and all of that. But, basically, this showed me tonight that toe-to-toe, when the Knicks click offensively and we get it right defensively, which we did, Miami is no match, right? This is in their building, and the Knicks fans and the Knicks crowd was letting them have it, fam. It was Deuce. It was a lot of feel-good vibes for the Knicks side in the 305 tonight, man. The Deuce got loose. I love his aggression. Great to see you, Robbo. And I'm glad you enjoy it, fam. Great performance. But yeah, we'll see Huck Porty, I think, moving forward. But tonight, Cat was all the big what we needed, man. And it was too much for Miami to handle. And it's just great to see us click in that third quarter. That's what blew this game wide open, fam. We figured it out with defensively, with the assignments and switching. Offensively, we're much more cohesive. We're getting the ball to the right guys. I think we were patient as well. We were calculated, and we were moving the ball around and just really having Miami work. And it was a nightmare tonight for Miami, for Harquez, for Terry Rozier. I mean, Cat, when he posted up Jimmy Butler late, that was an excellent, statement. The Knicks say, hey, we got our guy rolling. Jimmy Butler's on the way down. He's aging now, struggling tonight. And let's get him on the block, right? Let's get Cat down low and take advantage of it. But what can you say about Josh Hart, man? He was questionable once again coming in. Really, really gritty performance, man. Who says we don't have dogs on this team? Who says we don't have grittiness? Tonight personified that. Because again, there would have been that soft label going around if the first half continued. And it was a disappointing first half. We were letting Miami get whatever they wanted, and Tyler Hero was getting way too loose. But the guys, checked themselves at halftime. They came out in that third, man, had the best quarter of their season, right? Absolutely rolling. Coach says, cat, Butler's soft. Daniel Berry's in the house. Jay Giant, let's go. And the ceiling is high, CC. They just haven't really, been enough. They haven't been together long enough, and that's going to come even more. The chemistry when these guys are together for even longer, right? But here is one of the early moves from Cat, man. He set the tone. Nice little spin off down low. Great dump down. I'm really liking Mikal Bridges so far. Obviously after that first game, everything's been correct after that offensively. And tonight, I think it was his best defensive game from Mikal Bridges. So let me know what you guys saw from Mikal Bridges, right? We're going to go around and talk about some NBA news later after we've given out the grades and everything. But Lonnie Walker looks like he's going to be headed to Europe for now. But Hart, was questionable early in this ball game, came back, gave the Knicks massive minutes and a huge spark, right? 14 rebounds. I mean, any of the concerns about rebounding, guys, when Josh Hart's out there? Cat giving you 12 rebounds as well. We won't really be hearing the soft label if Cat's given us 12 rebounds, 44 points, right? That's a 4-time All-Star right there. And I know fans really wanted to see this, and, it's still early. We saw a lot of bad stuff early and, funkiness. But hopefully now people can really see the vision. And look, you trade for a guy, it's going to take time. Missed a little bit of training camp. Guys have just got to figure out their chemistry and all of that, fam. But I know Buzzer Beater would have appreciated this one. And we've got Parish Duggar in the house as well. We're going to talk about the Sims, the Huck Porty situation. Parish says we've got to stop shortchanging Sims perimeter D against the pick and roll. It stopped Indiana and it helped us tonight. Yeah, small minutes, but yeah, I gave praise to Sims a bit earlier. He repaid Tibbs's faith. And I think I was a little surprised he didn't go with Huck Porty again after the last game. But you got to say Sims did repay some of the faith tonight. Was really impactful in his minutes, right? But look, the guy who steals the headlines, the guy who stole the show, is the big cat, right? So let's give out the first grade of the night and the game ball. Give out the grade with me, man. 44 points. He was scoring every way possible. 12 rebounds with 2 offensive, 2 assists. Battled with 5 fouls, was a plus 15, right? Huge performance from Karl Anthony Towns. 24 shots, got up 5 threes now. Finally, I think that's all what we wanted to see. Just get Cat some easier looks, Brunson, 9 assists tonight. I see you. But we're also going to, give his flowers up next. But, Cat, he was no kitty cat tonight, man. He was a panther, right? He was the Black Panther tonight, was the Cat. And tonight, he deserves all the shine, man. I mean, what a way to answer the critique, and all of the buzz, right? So with that said, we're going to give out firstly the first game ball of the season for Cat. The second game ball of the season, Mikal Bridges got the first one, right? But let me position this rightly so. For Karl Anthony Towns, stand up, man. You are a New York Knick now, right? 44-point explosion in his 4th game as a New York Knick. Big time performance. I love the threes, but I love the post-ups, right? It's hard to decide what I like the most. I thought he was really, really patient as well. CC's gone with an A+, Buzzer A+, Paula A+, coming through. Let's get it. Got Francis in the building, hard tackle. Parish Duggar giving us his thoughts, right? You're flying the flag for Sims, Parish, I see you. But I'm not giving Huck Porty any shade. I think Huck Porty's going to get plenty of chances. Harlem World, what's up? And we've got LL in the building as well. Good to see you too. So without further ado, he's got the game ball. And he's going to get his grade tonight, man. But it ain't going to be an A+, fam. It's going to be the first A++ for the NBA, the Knicks NBA season, man. 24-25 season. The first A++. I mean, that's a statement performance, right? There's A pluses and there's a level above that, right? And I feel like he reached a level above that tonight, man, answering the call and helping put the Knicks on their back, right? We needed it because, yeah, backs were to the wall. Like Brian says, we came from behind on this one. We got some Huck Porty love too. Yeah, I'm loving all our guys, really. We've got to give these guys some time. And Robbo says, Robo G to go says, Cat A because of some foul trouble. Yeah, I can understand that. I just love the way that he battled and put the Knicks on his back as well. But I think the offense, getting him better looks. I think now we can really take a lot from this win, guys. And let's roll into Detroit because Detroit's rolling right now. And I picked them to win today, by the way, and they put the beat down, and Detroit picked up their win. Well, they've not really been rolling, but they've been playing really good. They've been playing better basketball. Detroit's going to be a lot tougher, but they earned their win tonight. That's not going to be an easy game, but obviously we expect the New York Knicks to take care of business in Motown. And so, yeah, the Knicks have a chance to get back above 500 after the Detroit game, and then we play the Houston Rockets after that, right? So 4 games are in the books, right? There was a lot of focus on these 4 games, guys. A tougher start to the season. Boston, Indiana, and then Cleveland and Miami. And here we are, we're 2-2, right? You could argue we're at our most vulnerable state, trying to figure it out, lacking chemistry early. And here we are, 2-2. So, I mean, not that I predicted 2-2, but I think given the circumstances, I think it's a solid building base for us to go on now and get on a big win streak and get above 500. Salute hard tackle. Daryl Smith salute says the game ball goes to Leon. Good to see you give some props to Leon. We're going to give out Tibbs's grade as well, so feel free to give your takes and grades for Tibbs's performance. Right, start of the third, I thought, are we going to see another third quarter of doom? Or are we going to see a third quarter of boom, man? And Deuce McBride says, "I'll show you what we're going to get, man. I'm going to bring it." I think Deuce McBride's been seeing Huck Porty dunk on everyone, and he's like, "Hey, brother, I got hops. I'm 6'2", and I can get upstairs." But yeah, I'm loving the aggression from Deuce McBride, man, and he's just that spark off our bench, and he's so, aggressive. He's so tough as well. He embodies what it is to be a New York Knick. Here, I love the little fake, the fake handoff from Cat, and he was tonight, man. He was ready to pull the trigger on that one. Had Hero on his heels too. Connaught says it was a big win. Harlem World says playoff vibes game was fun to watch tonight. It was, I think this win is even more sweeter that we were tested. If we had just come out and got, and blown them out early, it would have been like, okay, the Heat aren't nothing. But the Heat are actually pretty decent, from their start. Hero couldn't miss. Terry Rozier gave them a nice spark, and it was bucket versus bucket, late in this game, guys. It was a chance for the New York Knicks to say, hey, heavyweight slugfest, Butler, Rozier, Hero, give us your best shot. I don't think Bam Adebayo was very effective tonight either. What do you guys think about Bam's game and Jimmy's game? As we give Cat his first game ball of the season, we're riding high tonight, Knicks Nation. Smash that like button because we've got the streets buzzing, and Cat gets an A++ for me. Now, who should we talk about next? I'll let you guys decide, fam. Who's the next guy that you want to give out the grade? Because there could be the captain, 9 assists, bounce back. Josh Hart, his grittiness was all over this ball game. OG Anunoby, efficient from 3 of 6. Mikal Bridges, right, the other new Nick tonight as well, showed out late with some 3-point buckets that were huge, being a 4 of 11, 36%, with 6 assists as well. A little bit of playmaking, Mikal, with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Let's talk about Mikal Bridges, fam. I mean, what was the best part of his game? Plus 10, 17 points. Really unselfish. I think he plays within the flow of the offense, Mikal Bridges, real team player. Got a lot of criticism, obviously, from the shot. And once again, it was early and things were floundering. But once again, we've really started to see who Mikal Bridges is, over these last couple of games. The shot looks back. The corner 3 was big in that fourth quarter. And I think it was Campaign or it was Deuce or OG that found him in the corner. So salute to the Knicks for sharing and caring tonight. The ball movement was flowing, and 30 assists, guys. Can we get a thumbs up for the 30 assists for the team? That's the best team effort for the season. And we got a super chat from Mr. Parish Duggar. Salute, appreciate you, man. Says salute, support CT. Cat size hurt Adebayo. He hurt them. Most def, and I appreciate you, man. And great comment. Obviously, Jimmy, I love the post up on Jimmy late as well. He was a handful. But how about Cat's couple of offensive rebounds late too? He battled like 3 guys, and they weren't going to rip that rebound away from Cat. He was a man on a mission tonight. Wall Street Dame says Bridges can create his own shot, which is major. That is too. Tay Mack says Brunson Hart. And Brian has gone with A for a Josh Hart. And Old Head says, Deuce stays ready on attack mode. Nick Stateman win. And Paula says, yeah, the first half of the third quarter was big time. Brian says, Deuce is a starting 2 on a championship team. Needs a little bit more time. He's that Swiss Army knife together with Hart. And I feel like those guys are so invaluable, man, as a carryover, from last season, and obviously we are feeling some loss, Dante and Randall and Isaiah and Mitch being out, Precious being out. There's been a lot of changes, guys, a lot of shake-up. But one thing that remains constant that we saw tonight was the fight, the heart, and the continuity of Hart and Deuce Miles McBride. Jericho Sims, did himself proud tonight as well. Brunson obviously stepped to the plate like a captain and a leader does. And he delivered in the clutch, right? But it's all about Mikal Bridges up next. Let's give out his grade. A little inefficient from the mid-range, missed a couple of bunnies, but, evened it out with 4 of 11 from 3, hit some major buckets, 3 rebounds. I continue to want to see Bridges rebound the basketball. I think he can give us more than 3 rebounds. But what he gives you with 6 assists and 2 steals and 2 blocks, 17 points, is magnificent, fam. So you can vote on your player standout tonight. Just hashtag the player's initials. But with that said, I'm going to give the grade up for Mikal Bridges up next. And let us know what you guys think. I'm going to give an A for Mr. Bridges. Has found his shot. I love the 6 assists. Got some dimes, Johnny. Paula says Bridges B because he was missing in the first half. That's fair. I think the whole team, though, as a whole, had some struggles. Francis says, I'm glad Payne didn't come in the game just far and away like he has been usually. Yeah, I think Payne had to be reined in a little, and Deuce definitely led the way off the bench. New Lord says, Towns and Mikal are my favourite players on the team. They showed out. Fire game from the New York Knicks. Yeah, and buzzer beater. I love the 30 assists. Thumbs up to that one. And he's given the B+ for Mikal Bridges. Big time. Hashtag cat. And Wall Street's gone with a B+ for Mikal. Yep. And if there's a B++, Johnny's gone with that. Salute, guys. The New York Knicks riding high in Miami after their second win of the season. Go back to 500. Now the schedule is going to lighten up just that little bit more. Before we get back to the grades, let's just take a look at our schedule rolling up next. So we have Detroit on Friday night, Knicks. Then we have Houston, and then we have ATL. And that rounds out the East Coast, or the road trip. We've obviously got the one Houston trip in there as well, which is a bit of a funky trip with this one. And then we've got some tough games against Milwaukee, Indiana, and Philly. So it's really critical that the Knicks pick up, or continue to carry this form and roll into Detroit, Houston, and ATL, right? Let's sweep the next 3, fam, so that we go into back home against Milwaukee full of confidence right now. But as a whole, if you are looking at our offense, guys, another night, 116 points, right? We can put up points in a hurry, and we're really playing well tonight off the fast break. Let's take a quick look at the stats as well. So fast break points, the New York Knicks got 7 tonight. A lot of rebounding and then pushing the break. We won the second chance points as well, and we won the points in the paint. Salute to the 30 assists, and salute to the percentages. The field goal percentage continues to be solid, around the 50%, and 45% from 3. So we'll be able to have a look at some data in the next couple of shows coming up, as the Knicks, shooting percentages has been pretty solid. I thought tonight, though, was a huge step in the right direction defensively, right? Putting the clamps on Miami late. They went about 4 minutes without even getting a bucket, so that was really significant late. I mean, we basically doused their flames. Hero was hot, Rozier was hot, and we slowed them down. We slowed down the dribble drive penetration, and we definitely, guys lowered the Miami colors tonight, you know. But basically, let's talk about the next Nick, Josh Hart, right? 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from deep, hitting the shots where he's open and moving the rock with 6 assists, 14 bounds, 10 points plus 9. I mean, 42 minutes tonight. What did you guys think of Josh Hart's performance? Francis says, one thing that concerns me still is the silly fouls. Yep. That's something that, you know, I think we're going to continue to monitor moving forward. But I think Tibbs is definitely really, I think he's, you know, playing it safe with the substitutions as well. So, you know, you can get Towns out of there. You can get Sims or Huck Porty in so far. I'm liking the substitution patterns. El Tango says, salute, Thundercat shows his worth. Yep. And Brian's gone with an A for Hart. I think Hart was absolutely, you know, he was outstanding and he was everywhere defensively, shutting off, you know, cuts, dribble drive penetration, you know, crashing the glass like he always is, full of energy. I mean, when the Knicks are backs to the wall, Josh Hart's that guy that you want, you know, in your foxhole. So with his performance tonight, I'm going to give Hart his grade up next. Yeah. And for Josh LionHart, I'm going to go with an A+, fam. I think Hart deserves that A+ tonight, fam. Really, you know, where would we be without him? G Money's in the house. Awesome win. Troy NYC says, Josh A. I still say Josh must be a starter. No rebounds, no wins. That's a great point. I think you've got to be flexible. The Public Enemy gone with an A. Salute. I think you've got to be flexible. Roland Chestnut says Towns is a big-time scorer, and that's what he is. He will never be a big-time defender. Yeah, that's a fair point because, you know, some guys are just more one side of the basketball. You know, that's his focus. I think for us, we just need Cat to be serviceable defensively, or, you know, or ideally better than serviceable, but not getting, you know, silly fouls. Rotate, move his feet better, like Clyde says. Don't foul with his hands as well. But look, when he's a 3-point threat, and it's no coincidence, guys, when he gets his, you know, attempts up, 5 attempts tonight, 80%. That was just punishing for Miami. That's ball game right there, because it opens up everything else. You know, it opens up the floor for Brunson drives. It opens up the floor for Mikal Bridges here, for Josh Hart to drive and kick. You know, and Bridges to come off the catch as well. I mean, we're seeing glimpses tonight of our offense at full tilt. You know, I think we hit the 5th gear tonight, the 4th or 5th gear in the 3rd quarter, and it was an avalanche for Miami. Look at them scrambling all over the place. Man, how often have we had a defense scrambling like this, man? Look at Butler on his heels. You know, the Heat defenders didn't even know which guy to go to, man. Hart created the penetration, the kick, the second kick, and Towns was battling for the board as well on that one. Defense collapsing in the paint. That's what you need, fam, to open up the defense. Right. That was Boston-esque tonight. And look, the 54 rebounds and the 54 points, 26 rebounds from those two gentlemen, right, earned their A++ and the A+. But yeah, Hart, look, ideally, guys, you don't want him playing 42 minutes. You know, that is something that we're going to obviously hopefully avoid when our depth is bolstered. You know, with Landry Shamet, you know, rumored to be returning after his rehab, and he's right, you know, to come back, and then obviously Precious Achua getting back. I think that's going to lower Josh Hart's minutes. You know, Precious can really help us on the glass and down low, so that Hart doesn't have to play as much. You know, OG Anunoby right at his limit, 2 for me, 36 minutes, as we talk about OG's grade right now. And then we hit on the captain last from the starters. But OG's 36 minutes, quieter night offensively, but really efficient, just catching and shooting. 3 of 6 from the field, 3 of 6 from the 3-point land. Hit both free throws as well. So that gets another tick tonight, fam. 18 of 20 as a team from the free throw line, 90%. Dude, can we get a thumbs up for that? For 18 of 20 from the free throw line, man. We're not throwing games away by missing free throws any longer. So that's great. Towns was 6 of 6. JB was 7 of 8. Deuce was 2 of 2. And OG 2 of 2 from the stripe. But OG, man, my prediction for Defensive Player of the Year, he took on that assignment for Jimmy. And I got to say, he won that matchup, man. Jimmy Butler was meaningless in this ball game, right? I don't really think that Jimmy Butler hurt us at all. It was Hero, and at times it was Harquez and Bam and Rozier. But the 2 steals, and 11 points plus 11, OG Anunoby, man. The New York Knicks go back to 28 and 8 when OG is in the lineup. Fam, 28 and 8 is an incredible win percentage, and he's just a great starting piece. One of those guys that will get it done on both sides of the floor, man. Shot efficient and really won that matchup against Jimmy Butler. So with that said, fam, I'm going to go for OG Anunoby. Give us your grade for him. But he's also going to get an A for me, for OG. Efficient everywhere and defensively was a monster in this one. Picked it up. Wall Street Dame says, we've never had a 5 that could shoot that 3. Cat is our guy. Yeah, you could argue, Chris Stapps for that cup of coffee, but obviously, those guys just trade places, ironically from the same draft, everyone wanted Cat at the draft, obviously before he hit the NBA, he was the prize #1 selection. The Knicks fell to that 4th spot and got KP, and that didn't work out. But it's kind of ironic that we have Cat now in his place, and like you said, the threat is priceless, right? To space that floor out. Brian says OG C-. Great defense, shut down Butler, but needs to hit those open shots. I'm hard on OG because I have really high expectations for him. Yeah, I think that grade is you justified it. I think it's a little harsh, but I think we all want to see OG do a bit more offensively. But I think he's been in the league long enough now that I think this is who he is. I don't know if he's gonna be that guy that's gonna take on a bigger load offensively more consistently. I think he's a guy that comes in and out of the offense. He floats in and out. But the good thing is we just have so many options now that, someone has to take a back seat on certain nights. It's just impossible for everyone to have high volume. On a night where Cat's rolling, and Bridges is rolling as well, and Hart's getting all those rebounds and Brunson's facilitating. I think, OG's going to, find his spot. Eckham Joe says, good day when Knicks win and Philly lose to a bottom feeder as well. Yeah, I predicted it too. I put a little parlay on Detroit as well. So tonight's even sweeter. And Boston take an L too, although unfortunately it had to be Indiana that beat them. But look, it's a good day when Boston lose as well. And we're going to climb the standings. Hopefully we get on this roll now. And led by tonight, the captain, team high 9 assists. Fam, can we get a thumbs up for the captain? He heard the noise. People were talking spicy, like Buzzer Beater was saying in the comments as well. Which is fine, because JB doesn't mind the harsh criticism. JB doesn't, he's got thick skin, and he takes ownership. And he needs to be better, and he needed to be better coming in to tonight, man. And in the first half, man, I was ready to, to come out talking spicy on JB as well. But JB answered the call, great second half. Bad first half, couldn't buy a bucket, and just seemed to be in that little funk, caught between two minds and not knowing what to do with the basketball. But in the second half, man, it was completely different, and definitely Jalen Brunson, made that effort to get the ball moving, but also take those shots that he needed to take, right? and Brunson finished 6 of 18, 3 of 7 though from 3. Was really a difference maker late, and 7 of 8 getting to the free throw line, 9 assists, 2 rebounds, 22 points, and a quiet 22 points, and a +5 as well. So that's our point guard. That's what we need more of. And I definitely hear the noise that you guys were talking about, Brunson needing to get everyone clicking. And he certainly did that for Cat tonight, man. For Cat's efforts, it doesn't go unnoticed that Brunson was playing more like the floor general point guard role tonight. Kevin says it's still early. We're still gelling. Yep, definitely. Buzzer wants OG to take some more shots. I think OG's always been a selfless kind of player, but yeah, we need him to be aggressive. I think his strength's finishing at the rim as well. But he shot 6 threes tonight, 3 of 6. I think that's really solid. We need guys to fit in the team concept and the team, the team chemistry, because there's a hierarchy, fam. Every professional sports team has a hierarchy, and I love the takes from the chat. But if you ask the fan, they want everyone to have 44 points. They want everyone to shoot a lot of shots, but it's just not possible. Fam, there's a hierarchy, especially when it comes to a basketball offense. The more passes you make, the easier it is for the defense to pick it off. So there's a happy median between ball movement and overpassing, and there's a 24-hour shot clock as well, fam. So if you constantly just look to try to find your teammate and continue to pass, that can be a detriment sometimes, The shot clock can go down and you end up taking a tough shot. So guys got to make split-second decisions. They've got to make the right reads. Should I shoot it? Should I kick it? All of those things. But you want them to be aggressive, but you don't want them to be too passive either with that one. And so for Brunson's grade, let's give out his grade for tonight, man. Comeback win. He helped lead the charge. Obviously wasn't the highest scorer. Really, really bad first half, right? It would have been a C, would have been a D+, a D was the first half. But such was the third quarter and the second half, the fourth quarter helping to close it out. I mean, Brunson rescues it, and he comes back with a B+ for me tonight. What are your thoughts on that? The public enemy number 1 says, I'll give JB his praise. He moved the ball better tonight. That's what's up. Salute. Wall Street says he was that true point guard tonight. And OG gets a B from the public after a few turnovers. Brian goes a B for JB. Great to see him defer when it wasn't working for him. Fabian's gone with a B- and a B for buzzer beater. Was a little indecisive. Yeah, Al Tango. B+ for JB. Little indecisive. I think, the Miami Heat defense has always given us a bit of trouble with their, their versatility. They can trap really quick. They can blitz you. They can just stay man to man and just guard you straight up really well. All of those things when you got really good individual defenders like Bam and Jimmy and those kind of guys. Harquez now. And so, they've corrected the photo, fam. 76 points and 29 rebounds in this photo with JB there as well. We've got the full highlight package of Cat with his biggest outburst as a Knick, 44 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 assists as well. So that's our starting 5. Let's give a grade to Tibbs, and then we'll give out some flowers for the bench tonight, fam, as we're riding high. Knicks Nation on the streets are buzzing. We've got a couple big guests coming through the building at a good time now. Hopefully the Knicks can get a roll on in Detroit. I think that's going to be a really important win to beat Detroit. And then we head into Houston, and then we'll play the final game of this road trip. And then we'll get back to MSG, fam. But Tibbs, no third quarter of doom tonight. I think that's a big tick. Allowed the Knicks to steady the ship called timeouts though at the right times. I think those were big factors tonight because yeah, Miami was looking in a commanding position in that third. When they got up 13, I thought the Knicks better do something quick because this game is gonna get out of hand, right? But Tibbs called timeouts. I think he made good subs with Cat, getting him rest. You know, the thing is, he went with Jericho Sims, and it paid off for him tonight. So I don't know his thought process. I'll be, curious to hear about it. I thought Huck Porty deserved another chance to play over Sims, but he went with Sims tonight, and he got the job done. Right. So with that said, for Tom Thibodeau, it was an average first half, but he steadied the ship. So I'm going to give Tibbs a B for the night. As we continue rolling, guys, smash that like button. Deuce McBride, man, was a legend tonight. He was all over the place, and we don't win this ball game without Deuce setting the tone. So let's show some love for Deuce McBride now. I mean, the piece you need, when you're competing for a championship, you need that steady player with experience now, but confident shot making, like Deuce McBride off our bench. Yeah, he was 3 of 8, 2 of 5 from deep. We saw he got to the cup and slammed it down. He got 2 assists, 2 steals, played gritty defense, helping to slow down a hot Miami team early in this ball game. Finished with 10 points. Didn't play that many minutes, 25 tonight. He played 29 the other night, I think. So a little bit of a minutes reduction, but he was efficient from 3 again. And he's that guy that you just can't leave open. He'll make you pay. And, even Mike and Clyde just couldn't stop praising Deuce McBride for his growth and his ability to be that sniper out there. But I think tonight what was more impressive was Deuce's defense. I think recently his shot making has kind of taken the headlines, but I think tonight got back to Deuce McBride of old, which was his defense causing havoc, turning them over and forcing them into shot clock violations and, but just being on a string. So for me, man, Deuce McBride was a huge part of this win, and we needed his shooting. For him to get 5 attempts from 3, I got no problem with that at all. Buzzer's gone with an A for Deuce McBride. Al Tango's gone with a B+ for Tibbs. Allowed his A team to correct the flow of the game. Good one, guys. You guys are on point tonight. Brian goes Tibbs A+. Stop the games at the right time and good management. Yeah, I think he's learning more about this team still because it's still really early as we are. And I think tonight he pushed the right buttons. So without further ado, he let the Deuce loose. I think 25 minutes is about the sweet spot. But just excellent performance from Deuce. I'm not going to go an A+, but I'm going to go an A. A solid or healthy A for Deuce McBride tonight, right? In smaller sample, but was excellent on both sides of the floor, spacing it out and helping to slow Miami down, right? Moving forward, man, he's a guy we just can't be without, right? Him and Josh Hart, like, are the energizers and the grittiness of this team, I feel. And I'm not going to sell anyone else short. I think OG can be gritty at times. We know Brunson takes charges and likes to mix it up. But really, the true grittiness of this team, I feel, as carried over from last season, is Josh Hart and Deuce. I think those guys are they'll do whatever. They'll get their hands dirty and mix it up. Tekla Rory's in the building, says Deuce shot for 37%. I think from 3, yeah, his 3-point shooting is much needed, but he needs to let it fly. Troy says, I think Tibbs stayed with Sims because Tibbs is loyal to players. That's why half the Bulls were on the Wolves, and then when they were there, and then Rose and Taj to New York. Yeah, that's a point. I think tonight was a case of he got his look at Huck Porty, and it's not saying that he didn't like what he saw. I think Huck Porty, is a rookie, and we've all liked what we've seen from Hukporti for the most part. I think tonight was a case of, look, I got Hukporti in the last game. It's over to you now, Sims. I'm going to make a decision and tighten my rotation soon, and I want to give you maybe your chance to counter something like that, or maybe it's certain matchups. Maybe it's like Parish Duggar said earlier. You credit Sims' ability to switch. Switch out on the perimeter, and he can be that guy to stymie some of the pick and roll and other rotations. So Sims was 1 of 1. I thought there was a couple of really good sequences where he got an offensive rebound and he kicked it back out, and we ended up getting a huge bucket out of it at a timely period. So Jericho was impactful tonight. I think one of his most impactful games recently. But again, very small usage in the box score. 2 rebounds, 2 defensive rebounds, 3 total, and 2 fouls. I think one of them was a really bad foul to end the half, which helped give Miami some momentum. But didn't play a lot in the second half. 2 points, -6 for Jericho Sims. So we'll give out the grade right now for Jericho, and then we'll talk about Cameron Payne's better effort, I think, as a whole. But for tonight, one of his better performances, I'm going to give Jericho Sims a B- for tonight in his minutes. Right, give out your grades for Jericho Sims, and what is your thoughts? As Cat, right, put the NBA world on notice tonight. 44 points, 13 boards in his 4th game as a New York Knick. This is what happens when you get the man in his rhythm and you get him the rock as well. It was everyone else get out of the way. But he was a panther tonight, was Cat, because he was gritty down low. Spin moves down low, back to the basket. He was dunking, and he was posting guys up. He was hunting the contact tonight. He wasn't ducking it, I think, which is really, really important, what you want to see. Buzzer's gone with a B for Jericho. Wall Street says Sims is out of the rotation by November. I think it's a case of Tibbs. Yeah, he's getting a good look at both of these guys, but the story that hasn't been talked about enough is a guy on this screen, which is Precious Achua. There, I see him on the bench there. He's been chilling, and he's been really cheering on his teammates. Is Precious Achua, and he's going to be back. You would think reasonably soon. Maybe after this West Coast trip or this road trip. Maybe he's close to to coming back. That would be about the 2 weeks, 2 to 3 week evaluation, fam. And so I think Precious getting back might mean that Hukporti and Sims go situational. Maybe it means that those guys' minutes just go down a little bit. But it's a healthy headache to have, because we're going to need all of these guys throughout the season. We're going to need them all healthy. So next guy up, which is going to be Cameron Payne, right? Continues with his 8-man rotation. No Dadier, no Kolek, and no Hukporti, and no Jake Toppin, right? Which is interesting. But when you think about it long and hard, you think like Tibbs backs to the wall. When a coach is under a little bit of pressure, he usually, tightens the rotation. That's a Tibbs trademark. He's like, I got to whittle it down to the guys that I trust the most. I don't want to go down in a 1-3 hole to start the season. And so big road trip coming up, and he's like, I need the win, so I'm going to go 8 men tonight. I would have liked us to go 9 still. I think Dadier, looks like he can give you solid minutes still on the defensive side, and can cut well off the ball and shoot the 3. I think Dadier is a little unlucky, but he's early in his career. He's a rookie. I think he'll get his shot. But yeah, I don't think an 8-man rotation sustainable long term. Guys are going to get banged up. Guys were playing big minutes tonight with Hart, playing 42. But like the chat said, it was a playoff type feel tonight, which is not ideal, early in the season. Ideally, we had, beaten Cleveland and, not been under as much pressure. But the eighth man tonight, let's talk about Cameron Payne. 11 minutes, only put up one shot, right? But 5 assists. So another guy who heard some noise and corrected it. I thought he was a little too trigger happy in the last ball game, right? And for Payne to get up only one shot up, he was under control tonight. He wasn't the out of control, Cameron Payne. And so 5 assists is solid. And he was moving the ball, cutting well off the ball as well, playing good defense like he has been. So good bounce back for Cam Payne. And he's going to get a B. For me, Cameron Payne gets his B. So solid contributions from the bench, man. A, B minus, and a B to go with the starting unit. As the Knicks put the beat down on Miami. It's always great to win in Miami as well, right? Stick it to them. We had Pat Riley in the building as well. They just unveiled the Dwayne Wade statue as well. It was a really ugly statue. Looks nothing like the man, but the New York Knicks spoiled their party tonight, fam, and made a statement, right? Coming back. There's levels, to the East right now. Look, Cleveland, I think that loss is in perspective a bit better because we were in control. But obviously, Cleveland are a good team. We see tonight, right? Cleveland have another huge win against the Lake Show, putting the beat down on them. So Cleveland are legit, man. They're 5-0 now. Their Twin Towers are defending well. Their backcourt's shooting the ball really well. They've got a really smarter coach. They're better coach now as well. So I think that loss that the Knicks took to Cleveland, I think is in perspective now. Looks like Cleveland, I feel like, is going to be a top 4 team based on, early play. But I think, the New York Knicks are still figuring it out. We're still gelling as well. Keyshawn, salute, what's up? Wall Street says Payne gets a B. And yeah, we got some fans that won't be crying as much right now. We're seeing these guys answered the call. But look, the couple of performances were warranted with critique. I think people were just going a little bit too overboard. Calling dudes out, calling dudes soft and all of that. There's some chemistry issues early, but I think tonight's win is a kind of that. It's a team building kind of win, with the vibes being immaculate in this one, and hopefully we just take it and we build, because now we're kind of knowing now where guys thrive and guys can get their shot. I feel like this is going to unlock the Knicks season with the offensive numbers we saw tonight. I mean, Cat was just shooting it everywhere. But Bridges, really impressive. I think Bridges finding his stroke, but putting the ball on the deck is big time. Yeah, the statue, man, Lawrence Fishburne. I heard people say it looks like Kelsey Grammer as well. I mean, they've got to redo it, man. It's as bad as the Ronaldo statue. I don't know if you guys saw the Ronaldo statue as well. But, hey, the Heat organization, what are they doing? What are they doing with that? What's been your standouts around the NBA so far? I mean, it's really early, but the Knicks are going to climb a little bit with this win, 2-2 now. Boston, looking a little vulnerable. They could have lost that game in Detroit. I watched that game right down the stretch. If Detroit had hit a couple more shots, they would have won and beaten Boston. Tonight, Boston take another L to Indiana as well. A furious comeback, one of the biggest comebacks since, I think it was like 2021. They were 24 points down, came back to force OT. But the Knicks comeback of our own was huge, down 13, and had an 18-point turnaround in that third quarter. Completely changed everything, man. And we're going to continue to salute our New York Knicks and shout you guys out. Smash that like button. We've all got the Knicks streets buzzing. And what are your thoughts on the rotation moving forward? Right, I think we need to get that 9th guy in there, fam. I don't want us to pick up another injury. I think it is really important that Hart doesn't keep playing banged up, major minutes. I don't know if you can buy him a rest night. I mean, what do you guys think? Knowing that Hart's banged up, but we can't have him questionable every single game, and trying to give it a go and then play 42 minutes. I think that's something I'm really going to be looking out for. I mean, he's a LionHart. He's going to go out there and give you all he's got. But you need to be smart early in the season. I think that's going to be key. Um, hopefully Precious can get back real soon. But you got to find a way to get Daddy A in there, get Hakpority and Sims. I don't see any reason why we can't go with a couple of bigs. Defensively, we were struggling in that second quarter, giving up penetration. And so Cat as your full-time 5, I think it's not ideal still. You need to split some minutes with another big, like they did with Rudy Gobert, I think, to get the optimal level of Cat. Wall Street Dame show says we need a 9-man rotation. Agree with you 100%. Brian says we still have a Chua, Hakpority, Sims, and eventually Mitch. Yeah, I really think we are pretty cool with the big man situation, assuming Precious is back soon and then Mitch gets back. I don't think we need to give up assets to get Walker Kessler, Nick Richards. I mean, I think we've seen that would have been a pointless move right now. Nick Richards has been struggling. He's a marginal rotation guy right now. We've got guys, I think we've got guys now. I think we can focus on maybe getting another scorer off the bench, maybe another wing, a gritty defensive kind of wing off the bench, so that you got insurance for Hart. Did the New York Knicks try to look at, somebody like a Trey Murphy? The New Orleans Pelicans, man, I watched them last night. There's a world of trouble. I'm not going to get into that stuff too much now, but the Pelicans with Zion, Ingram, and CJ McCollum, they lost to the Steph Curry-less Warriors, right? And they couldn't compete. They got blown out. And so there's talk that they're, showing potential interest in getting a center. But Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, they might have to swing a trade to get something because Pelicans are struggling. But outside of that, you got to play Daddy A bit more just so you can see what you've got, I think, as the season goes. Kolek Hive stand up. I think if Payne has a bad stretch, I think that'll be an opportunity for Kolek to get in. But if Payne continues to be just decent, Kolek might have to wait his time, which I'm okay with. I think Payne has been, for the most part, an energizer. I think I like his defensive effort. And I think Tibbs likes that. Buzzer wants to see more Hakpority. Yeah. Daddy A and Kolek. Yeah, I think hopefully we'll see some more blowout wins soon. Those guys will get a chance as well early. But I think Tibbs is probably focusing on this team getting their chemistry first before expanding the rotation too much. I think in these really tough games, he's trying to establish that usage and identity with these guys. I just think it's going to wear down as the season goes. But early days, I guess it's okay for now. But yeah, I don't want Hart really playing more than 37 minutes, 35 minutes. Tonight was overplayed, but we pulled out the win. OG 36 minutes. I think that's about right. Look, Bridges 39 minutes, 40 minutes. I think Tibbs is loving him some Mikal Bridges on this team now. He can use him on your Jimmy Butlers. You can throw him on Tyler Hero. You can throw him on any guy who's hot, but he can also answer the call, can bounce back, right? One of my stone cold plays of the game tonight was when the Knicks were making that run and Bridges in transition didn't even hesitate. He just pulled up, right? Early shot clock, right? It was transition defense. Miami Heat weren't even back yet, but Bridges just pulled up from 3, man, and let it fly. The shot form still looked a little funky, but it went down, and that's the main thing when it comes to Bridges, man. 37% from 3 is really important. What else would you like to see us do, fam? But excellent night from the starters in the second half, right? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. I think that's the most important thing with a win like this. You know, Hero was way too loose early, and Rozier, I was kind of waiting for Jimmy to try to take over. But look, I'll be honest, man, this was our first closer look at Jimmy Butler. And I think the story is starting to be written. I think on Jimmy's tenure in Miami. I really do. I think Pat Riley's looking at it. You know, we saw Mike Breen talk about it tonight with the quotes, talking about Riley saying that we have to be careful offering those resources to a guy who's not available enough. So it's like Jimmy. I think, you know, if Miami aren't decent this year, I think they'll make a big trade because, you know, Jimmy Butler just wasn't his old self, like the one we saw, you know, 2 years ago when he tried to take over that playoff series, right? And I think age, attrition, and wear and tear is starting to, you know, to catch up on the man when it comes to that, right? But well-deserved grades tonight, well-deserved flowers, chat. You guys have been buzzing all night. I mean, Deuce has just been Mr. Consistent this season. Guys have had their moments, but I think Deuce has probably been our most consistent player. And that's including all the starters. You know, Josh Hart's up there. I would say Hart's probably been more consistent than Brunson and Towns. And then probably closely after that is Bridges and OG. But the thing is, when you get the best of Towns and you get the best of Brunson, it's a game changer. It really is. You know, you can blow teams out. You know, it opens up the offense for these other guys to start eating. And, you know, and the offense just comes really, really easy with these guys. More Huck Porty, Daddy A. Kolek. Hopefully it comes soon. Brian says OG locked Jimmy down. And we want to see more pick and pop and pick and roll with Cat and JB buzzer. Yeah, look for the wrinkles to start to come more with each game and as the chemistry gets built further with this squad, fam. But yeah, let's get through some quotes from these guys. Let's hear from Tibbs and what was said post game after this one, man. As Cat Precious Achua has tweeted out, bodega work too. Big time. We've got the NBA account tweeting out Cat's highlights. So Cat has now registered 40 plus points and 10 rebounds for the 11th time in his career, which is ranked 9th in the NBA since Towns was drafted back in 2015. Right. That's big time. So that's from the NBA PR account as I bring this up now. Let me get this up. So yeah, Karl Towns registered 40 plus and 10 boards for the 11th time in his career, ranked 9th since 2015. That is big time, right? And Kendrick Perkins, 44 points on 24 shots for the big fella tonight with the dub. So Kendrick Perkins showing his support and love behind that, man. What a way to bounce back. Now, let's hear from Cat with the walk-off interview. Let me get this thing up now. We'll hear from the big Cat after his huge performance. 44 points, rebounding and astounding.
Carl, what a brilliant performance. You said before the game, I heard you say on the side, you like...
Keep on, Cat. What'd you say?
I said, you said before the game, I heard you on the courtside, how much you like playing in this building, that you had some good games here. Why do you play so well in this building?
The weather. I mean, I was in Minnesota. It was cold. It's hot here. I like that.
Well, what was the difference tonight in terms of your aggressiveness?
I mean, just doing whatever it takes to win. I mean, my teammates trusted me. I just wanted to repay their trust, just do whatever it takes to win.
Tremendous game of rebounding. So you really asserted yourself tonight in the paint.
Just like I said, just being aggressive. My teammates found me in great spots. It's all thanks to my teammates and the coaching staff. Put me in great spots to utilize my talent. And I just wanted to repay my teammates' trust and the coaching staff's trust in me.
Now, it's obviously only been 4 games, Carl, but what about this team that maybe you didn't know that now you know and you love?
I mean, I've been watching from far away. I mean, this team they're gritty. They find a way to win. They never quit. So just bringing that New York mentality every single night, it's something that, you know, when you're playing in it, you get to recognize and you get to live in that kind of culture.
Congratulations on a special performance, Carl.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Zero, that was the big Cat. That was the walk-off interview. Now we got Cat in the locker room as well. Let's hear from Cat in the locker room.
I guess for you, it seemed like the start very aggressive tonight. You know, we were talking the other day about finding your spots. Just seemed like the start here.
Oh, that's it? Oh,
That's all I got for you.
Just, you know, we wanted, you know, big game for us today, bounce back game. Just wanted to do whatever I can to help us win. My teammates, like I said, on the court, just put the trust in me with the basketball and the coaching staff. Amazing game plan by them. I just wanted to repay their trust.
What was it that you saw in the defense that you were able to attack? I mean, Bam is a bit of a defender.
For sure. For sure. Like you said, one of the best players in the NBA. You know, I think a lot of credit goes to Cap. Cap put me in a position with those pick and rolls and picking pops and finding me in spots to succeed. And the coaching staff, like I said, great game plan, and just wanted to do what I can to win.
How much of you guys, I think you guys got over 43s for the first time this year. How much of that was just quicker trigger too? Obviously the ball movement was good, but it felt like you guys were intentionally out there trying to get it to go
pace.
up too.
The Knicks higher pace.
Like I said, I think we just, as a team, we just played great together and just taking the shots that were given to us, you know, and not second guessing a lot of shots, and taking what was given to us by the defense. So it's a testament to these guys in this locker room. Bounce back game from last one, you know, tough loss, and to stay disciplined and to stay mentally ready for this game. It speaks a lot about the guys in here.
How good?
Yeah, stay disciplined. But yeah, what stood out to me, guys, you know, like you said in Miami, you know, it was a higher tempo. I felt like pace was key tonight. You know, guys getting in a rhythm. When you get higher possessions, you know, the ball moves faster as well. I think that was what was key. We're moving the ball too slow in that first half. But Brunson, you know, got the ball moving better. 9 assists tonight. The second half, I think the swings to the corners and the kicks as well. But we turned our defense, you know, turned it into offense. You know, getting stops. It's so much easier to get your offense going when you slow down the other team. When you're constantly picking the ball out of the net and you're having to, you know, inbound the ball after the other team scoring, it puts your defense on your offense under pressure because their defense gets to set back and all those things. So I think the Knicks really got their offense going by finally starting to check and starting to guard better. On the switches, I thought screens were being navigated better as well and were more cohesive too. So to shout out to all of those guys defensively, they rolled up their sleeves tonight, man. They deserve these grades. Brian says when JB and Kat cook together, we can rest our team more and get the bench to load manage. Yeah, and I've said it even during the tough stretch. I think when we were like, I mean, the season's still so young. Even after the Cleveland game, after the first loss, I said, you know, with this season early, right, we have some tough games. We actually play some of the best teams early, but when it comes to playing your Raptors, you know, your Brooklyn Nets, Pistons, or you know, all of these teams that are very, very winnable, very beatable, I think we're going to get on a huge roll, right? And it's just get through the regular season healthy, you know, get to a position where you're clicking right before the playoffs. You don't need to be clicking at the start of the season. You just need to be getting through healthy, finding that chemistry and just picking up wins where you can, you know, and we're not going to be playing, you know, your Cleveland Cavaliers, when you're not going to be playing your Boston Celtics, you know, every night. you know, so we're going to find a groove and find our rhythm as well. But it looks like the baseball, man, the Yankees have let the Dodgers back into it. Man, I thought that game was over when I just came on. I'm not going to lie. I thought that game was done and dusted. Right, I think the Yankees were up by 6 or something. Man, that's crazy. We'll probably catch the end of that in a minute. But man, feel good vibes tonight, man. I'm so proud, so happy to see the Knicks fight and claw their way back to a huge win. We're just starting to see how things look. We're just starting to scratch the surface with this squad, right? We're going to get a few guys back as well, you know, and bolster our depth. I think Mitch could be a huge boost to get back, you know, in January, hopefully at the earliest at this point. You know, Precious is going to be back soon. You know, and then we've got some guys on the bench that can give you something. You know, Shamit might get back before the new year. Looks like Matt Ryan might be on this team as a shooter. Yeah, the Boston Celtics lost tonight. Knicks 25 champs. You know, so yeah, Boston almost lost to Detroit. So we're starting to see the season kind of really level out, you know, and see who's for real. And the Knicks will do it the hard way. We'll grit, we'll fight it out, and we'll earn these wins early in the season. But it was well deserved tonight, man. I think we did it the hard way, but we cruised towards the end, right? As the Knicks now go back to 500, 2-2 on the season, right? Been fun chopping it up and giving out the game ball to Karl Anthony Towns for his effort tonight and his scoring, production, and defensively holding his own late. And the rest of the New York Knicks, man, rolling their sleeves up in the 305. Feel good win. And I think this is going to really build great chemistry for the next part of the season. You know, you need to go through some adversity early, but we didn't fall into a hole. You know, 1-3 would have really been a little tricky start to the season, but we get back some ascendancy and momentum now with this feel good win. Back to 2-2, and let's roll into Detroit, Houston, and I think the other one after Houston is, let me double check who it is, fam. ATL. Yes, ATL. We roll into Detroit, Houston, ATL, and I think we have a great chance, man, to win the next 3. But we take a game at a time, man. No letdowns as well. So, looks like Dodgers are up 7-6. Hopefully Yankees pull this one out, man. But let's talk about it next. I'll hopefully get out a preview for the Detroit game. But orange and blue skies, fam. Please smash that like button. You've got the Knicks streets buzzing. Many health, happiness, blessings to everyone out here. The Knicks answered the call tonight, man, in Miami. Feel good win. And let's talk about it. Peace, everyone. Salute.